All right, it's time for us to look at the world of sports. Of course, Onyinyechi is there. Hello, Onyinye. Good morning. It seems that we got the memo. We're matching colors.
Yes, of course. Hello, Olive. Good morning, Olive.
Good morning.
Of course, having to match colors with you is a great thing. Yes, so that means you're in tandem. That's what they say.
Exactly. Now tell us what's happening in the world of sports.
Yes, in the world of sport, we had good news coming for the Nigerian Super Falcons. Maybe they can make it a decima indeed for the Women's African Cup of Nations 2022 in Morocco. Yes, they booked their sport yesterday to the semi-finals, and also they qualified for the FIFA World Cup. Of course, that will be hosted by New Zealand and Australia. But going away from that, let's tell you what's happening in the world of athletics. So the World Athletics Championship begins today in Eugene, Oregon, and will witness a congregation of more than 1,900 athletes from 192 teams between 15 to 24 July 2022. Now, African athletes will have another chance to create more records coming from the just concluded Tokyo Olympic Games. But there are indications that some key Africans could miss out on the championship due to visa issues. World Athletics on Thursday, yesterday, did say they are working closely with the U.S. Olympic and Paralympic Committee to ensure that athletes and officials experiencing visa delays are sorted before the World Championship starts today, of course, in Oregon. This comes as tens of athletes and team officials continue to complain about the delayed visas to the United States ahead of the championships. Athletes from as far as Kenya, Gambia, and South Africa have been affected too. Meanwhile, two athletes, Alaba, Akintola, and Ezinne, Abba, have spoken out against their unjust exclusion from the World Championship for Team Nigeria. While Akintola was never included in that team for Nigeria's roster to Oregon, despite making the qualification marks, Ezinne is more pained, having been previously listed and only allegedly dropped 40 minutes before boarding her flight to Oregon. So now we have to keep us abreast with what's happening and to fill the polls of all media, the press, and also the fans, athletics fans, is Favour Itua, a Nigerian sport journalist, joining us all the way from Port Harcourt. Thank you, Favour, for joining us today.
Yeah, good morning. Thanks for having me.
Thank you for joining. But it's all about this delays coming from the U.S. Visa to issue visa to these athletes. The championship was announced a long time ago by the World Athletics, but it has no reason to delay the visas of these athletes, knowing that they are athletes who have been registered before now and they had a competition to attend. So, Favour, what do you think? What are your thoughts about these delays from the United States?
It's really sad. I mean, the competition host was not announced today. It was announced even months before now. I mean, it's been a long time coming. If you look at the U.S. As a country, when it comes to sporting events, we've always had athletes in the past, having these similar issues of visa delay and, stuff like this. And I think the World Athletics, I don't know if they didn't do their homework very well, or the U.S. is trying to, follow protocols or feel they should even, scrutinize more. But trust me, it doesn't help their competition because it affects, the next host, or it affects what happens again anytime athletes here, they're going to the United States of America. Yes, these are athletes. I mean, we saw what happened yesterday. Ose Talu of Ivory Coast, she went on a Twitter handle. She also complained of similar issues with this. And it doesn't speak well of them. I mean, mentally, psychologically, the athletes are already down even before arriving. Some of them will have to arrive. The African fastest man, late yesterday, he got his visa to leave Nigeria. The man who, won 100 meters at Mauritius, the last African championships. And imagine him arriving hours before the heat. How would you expect the athlete to give his best? It doesn't speak well for the tournament or for the World Championships. I just hope that, it's not, I don't know, because it's really, really sad. But I think the World Athletics, like you've said, they also need to work with the embassy. The, IAAF also needs to see what they can do to avoid something like this in the future, because athletes, like I said, would not want to go to the US. Anytime they hear there's an event, they'll probably want to boycott it because they know it's going to be difficult. Imagine the Diamond League that is going on in different countries in the world. They have seamless, movement when it comes to, getting visas. We see athletes from France to Sweden to Qatar to, Rabat. They are going to different countries for the World Champion, for the Diamond League. And they don't have issues getting visas because they know it's in the calendar of athletics to have this event, and they ensure that if you're an athlete, if you can certify that you're an athlete for a particular country or for a particular place, you should be given visas. I mean, these are, I don't think there's anybody that we're looking forward to. And yes, of course, we can't rule that out to maybe when they get to the US to abscond. But these are athletes. I mean, they've been participating, they've been traveling all their life. And this is not, I don't think this will not be the opportunity for them to just leave and not want to come back, to their country. But it's really sad.
Oh, really sad. Ferdinand Omayala, Africa's 100 meters, the fastest man, was affected. But his US visas have been sorted right now, and he's en route to Oregon. But we're hoping that he's in good shape before the heat starts. So, Favour, let's come to the home front right now. News made the rounds that two athletes, Ezinne, Abba and Alaba Akintola, were unjustly treated by the Athletics Federation of Nigeria. Can you clarify that news? Of course, we saw on social media a lot of media partners talking about the exclusion of two important athletes for the Nigerian team.
All right. I saw the outburst from Ezinne Abba. I also saw the one of Alaba. And I saw the ministry. I saw a statement, quoting, I think the technical director from the ministry saying that Ezinne Abba unjustly, criticized the ministry that she does not have automatic qualification. She has to participate in the trials. I just think these are excuses because if you look at Ezinne Abba, she already qualified before switching allegiance to Nigeria. Now, she doesn't need any tournament or any competition again to qualify again because she has hit the qualifying time. She came to Benin City while still not being sure of, the allegiance, switching to Nigeria because it was not done yet. He competed at the relays and did not compete, at the individual event. That's because she has qualified already. She doesn't need to prove anything to you again for the individual event. I'm surprised the ministry is coming out to say, she didn't compete at the individual event. She doesn't have right to, represent Nigeria. I mean, she has to go through the trials. The trials is just one of an event for athletes who have not qualified to still test their resolve to qualify. So Ezinne Abba qualified already. Her allegiance came out. Her switch was ratified on Monday to Nigeria. I believe if the Athletics Federation of Nigeria do not want her to compete, there are ways you can tell her and say, oh, we have Rosemary Chukwuma, we have Grace Nwankwocha, we have Favour Philly, because everyone cannot represent Nigeria. We have more than 3-4 athletes who have qualified for the World Championships, and of course we all know they will not all represent.
Okay, Favour, to say that Ezinne recently switched allegiance from the US to represent Nigeria, while Akintola hit the qualifying mark in the 100 meters with a personal best. Still hurts. But more reason both athletes vented their frustration. But they did say the federation, of course, there's corruption and they played politics with their exclusion. Do you also share the same thought?
Yeah, I share the same thought. I would say this. Last year in Benin City, during the National Sports Festival, I was in Benin, and I saw how, after the event, we saw how politics crept into the Athletics Federation of Nigeria. Of course, the minister had a hand in it, and we saw how Gusau was taken away, and quote unquote, the minister's choice, who happens to be Tonobo Kokoa, was put in as the Athletics Federation president. And let's tell ourselves the truth. The Athletics Federation of Nigeria, with due respect to the president right now, is a square peg in a round hole, in the sense that we have been having issues since last year in the Athletics Federation of Nigeria. We missed the World Championships in Poland last year. Our athletes were disgraced at the Olympics. We also had issues with, out of competition testing for some persons. Hammer thrower, I've forgotten her name now. I'm trying to remember. She has gone back to the US because she didn't like the treatment given to her by Nigeria, and she's in the US team for the World Championships. I think the Athletics Federation of Nigeria, they are not really doing their work in terms of ensuring. It's not just about organizing events. There are things that needs to be done before time. So they should also take a part of the blame. In fact, more of the blame should go to the AFN. There's little of it should go to the ministry because they brought the president we have now at the Athletics Federation of Nigeria. So it did start today. It will not stop now. It will still continue because we've seen favoritism in the Athletics Federation of Nigeria, where an athlete is favored over the next person, maybe because of whatever reasons or the other. So we need to it should be united instead of scattering your athletes. It doesn't speak well of Nigeria. In the space of 4 months, we have 2 athletes who want to go back to US to compete for them instead of competing for Nigeria.
Okay, Favour, venting your anger over there, but we hope that the message is sent to the Athletics Federation of Nigeria. Thank you, Favour, for joining us today on Breakfast Sport.
Thank you very much for having me.
Yes, we do appreciate you. Of course, the World Athletics Championship begins today, and we will be seeing Africans making their showings there. 7 from Ghana. We've got 15 from South Africa. Nigeria will be making their showings with 10. 2 out of the championship right now. We wait and see the records to be broken in Oregon. What update you have over there? I am Onyinyechi Obaru. Back to you, Osa. Back to you, Olive.
Thank you very much, Onyinyechi, for the updates in the world of sports. We look forward to seeing you again and enjoy the rest of your weekend.
Thank you.